Alrighty, so welcome everybody to kind of the second, I guess, discussion style video I'm going to be doing on Mark IV. Might do a couple more of these. I don't know if I'm going to do them too frequently. The last ones did really well. So I figured I'll throw another one out there, see if there's interest, but I figure I'm not going to be as quick on it as I was with that video, so probably not going to have as much interest in these videos going forward. This one, by the time of upload, will probably have been out for a couple days at least. So I'm just going to kind of go through it, give my personal thoughts on the matter. I've had a little bit of discussion with Reed on it, just very brief over Discord. So I'll kind of explain what he thinks is coming too, and I think I agree with him. But basically, we're just going to go over what legacy armies are coming to Prime. If you haven't seen the announcement yet, it's basically just the other day. Today is the 19th, but it probably won't come up until I would say maybe the 20th. So a couple days ago, they announced which legacy armies are coming to the Prime Arena. That's something we all really wanted to see. So I'm going to kind of go through it. I'm going to give my thoughts on each faction, what they're getting, what I was kind of expecting, whether I'm surprised, and how I'm feeling about it, and yeah, we'll just kind of go from there. So without further ado, let's get into it. So starting with Circle here, they're giving the Blackclads and Tharn. That's not surprising to me. I'm not a Circle player. I have a few models, but I don't have, like, I don't even think I have 75 points. I probably do, but it would not be a good list. So I can't really comment too much on this from like a gameplay perspective. I'm glad that we're seeing Blackclads. Blackclads are really cool, and I think that's kind of where we're going to see all of the Stone War Beasts probably. And then Tharns are probably what we'll see, obviously, kind of the wolves and stuff like that. So that makes sense there. They've got two armies that'll probably split up the beasts in the faction. I keep wanting to say Jax because everything's been so Warmachine focused lately. Um, and I will mention they did say that all of this stuff is expected to be coming out with the beta in September, October. I think it was October. So that's pretty good. We're getting hordes right off the bat. I thought we were gonna have to wait a little bit longer. So that's really good. But yeah, Thorns and Blackclads make sense. Thorn, to my knowledge, are pretty popular. I've always thought Blackclads were really cool, so I'm happy with that. I think that means I might end up actually pursuing a Blackclad army because I had a handful of models, not very many, but yeah, that's cool. Going into Convergence and Crucible Guard, so they said the mini factions are being brought over pretty much in their entirety, which at first I disagreed with Reed on this, and then I read the post myself. It really sounds like they're just flopping the entire thing in one army, which I don't know how I feel about that. Don't get me wrong. I love the fact that my Convergence, which I haven't brought on the channel yet because they're all on flight stands and they're all not painted, so they're not actually on flight stands. Um, but my Convergence army that I was kind of just starting to build up over the last year or so, I'm really excited that they're not going to be, kind of just going away. So that's great news. I question how they're going to balance that because they said 2 to 3 warcasters, or I think it was 3 warcasters per army. So if they're just plopping the entire thing, are they just cutting the warcasters in half for them? I was expecting them to split into 2 armies, just like all the others. So Convergence, we might have had like angels, and then I don't know. The other two can kind of be combined, honestly. Um, but I guess they're just putting them all together. We'll see how that plays out. I obviously we don't know too much yet. So Crucible Guard is obviously the same. Cricks, we got Banes. That was really all I cared about. Banes are my favorite Cricks theme by far, just thematically. They kind of suck, but like they're cool. And then we got Black Fleet, which makes a lot of sense. They don't want to lose that pirate theme. I'm thinking we're going to see the Ghost Pirates here. We're probably going to see Satixus here. We're probably gonna. I'm hoping we'll see some of the Blighted Ogryn or Trollkin or whatever they are that they have. Um, Mainly because I have a unit of them and I like them a lot, specifically with Denny. And I have a feeling if we're getting a Denny, it's gonna be in this one. I really want a Denny. Going into Signar, I was a little confused by this. So they're doing a Storm Knight army, but the new one is Storm Legion. So they're going to have very similar, like obviously the Storm Legion models look fantastic and they do look very distinct from the existing Storm Knights, but they're still kind of the same aesthetic style. Um, and it's interesting to me that they're going to be bringing back one of the existing ones, like the kind of precursors to the Storm Legion as their own army. So that's a decision that I don't know how I feel about. Personally, I would have preferred we see um the gun mages. Gun mages are probably my favorite models in Signar. They, well, Storm Knights are up there, but with the Storm Legion is going to take that spot as well. But gun mages I think are one of the coolest things about the Iron Kingdom setting in general, so it's kind of a shame that we're not seeing those here. The other army being Trenchers. Now, my kind of theory on this is that we're getting Poster Boy and Poster Girl. So I think we're going to see Striker show up with the Storm Knights. He doesn't quite fit thematically. I haven't read all of the Striker lore, but I don't think he travels with Storm Knights too often. But I think they'll throw him in there. And then the Trenchers, we're going to see Haley, just because that is what makes sense in my head. Um, Me and Reed were talking about whether or not they're going to do a Gravediggers thing because they used it as an example in the previous post. So we were saying if they do, they're probably going to throw in a Haley. And I mean, feel free to hedge your bets in the comments below which Haley you think it's going to be. My guess is either one or three. I'm leaning towards three. Reed is hoping for either two or three, but he really doesn't want to see one. But yeah, I'm gonna be very surprised if there's no Haley in there. Then we go Grimkin and Infernals. They're just getting the whole army. That's to be expected. And then we see Mana Wars, which is really exciting to me. That's my favorite theme in Khador. So cool. We get Mana Wars. And then Winter Guard, interestingly enough. I'm not really complaining because I have a handful of Winter Guard models. But again, the new one I'm pretty sure is like Winter Core or something like that. I haven't really looked into them. Um, that's gonna feel pretty samey, so it's kind of interesting that they're doing the same thing here that they're doing with the Storm Knights and the Storm Legion. We'll see how that goes. Going into Legion, I was really worried here, but thankfully I was worried for no reason. Ogryn are coming. That's really all I cared about. That was the most important thing for me. Ogryn's kind of my main go-to in Legion, so super happy to see that. The other thing we're getting is Blightedness. This is probably going to be basically the Children of the Dragon theme. Hopefully with some of the other themes kind of splashed in there. Unfortunately, we are probably going to be losing the grotesques. Unfortunately, those are, like, I love those models. I've tried to bring them at least once, maybe twice on the channel now, but they just haven't been good for a very long time. So they probably just cut them into unlimited. I think Rotwings might survive though through Ogryn, because Ogryn's probably basically going to be Primal Terrors, but we'll see. And then we're getting into the Mercenary Minions. So Mercenary Minions are just one faction now because it doesn't matter because your list pairing is based on army. So we're getting Blindwater and Pharaoh. I actually misread this on my first read over. I thought it was just Pharaoh. But yeah, we're seeing pretty much all the minion stuff returning. That makes sense. And then we're going to have Cephalix. Pleasantly surprised here. I've wanted to pick up Cephalix for a long time. Haven't bothered. I didn't expect them to kind of actually make it here. I thought they were going to be done. They made it, so that's pretty cool. Privateer. I mean, it's Privateer Press. That actually makes a lot of sense that they would keep that theme. And it's another theme that I've kind of had a mild interest in picking up for a long time. So, cool. Rulik, I've never played with or against Rulik, but they're cool. That makes sense. Keep them in. Steelheads. I'm a little surprised that these guys are making the cut, but I'm not complaining. They're kind of your, standard basic mercenary outfit. That makes some degree of sense to include them. We go into Protectorate. We already knew about Exemplars, and the other one is Flame Guard. I'm not complaining here at all. Personally, those are my two favorite Protectorate armies. I have a handful of Exemplars, and I have a handful of Flame Guards, so that's great for me. Next, we go into Retribution. So I was very surprised by the choices here. Notably, Defenders of Ios doesn't seem to be represented, which is really weird to me because they've kind of been the one that's getting all the love for a long time now. Instead, we have Dawn Guard and Mage Hunters. So I was expecting Dawn Guard to be cut out because so many models recently have kind of replaced them in Retribution. In terms of like just melee infantry, the Dawn Guard have just not been good in comparison to the other melee infantry available in Retribution. So it's cool to see that they're getting a little bit of love and they're coming over to Prime. I have a feeling they might incorporate some of the Defender stuff into Dawn Guard for this. We'll see how that goes. And then Mage Hunters, which I really didn't expect, but I mean, it's very true to the faction's identity, I guess. So if they're trying to keep the faction's identity intact, especially since they're pretty much dead after this, I guess Mage Hunters make a lot of sense. I'm also not really complaining here. I love Mage Hunters. They're a super cool theme. Ideally with Retribution, one of the things that got me into this game was I refer to them as shovey ninjas, because they have the assassins, but then they also have all these like movement manipulation dudes. The name of the unit's not coming to me right now, but they're one of my favorite units in Retribution. And they're basically just the guys with the push pull magic attacks. And unfortunately, it looks like we're probably not getting those in Prime, which is a big shame for me. But I kind of, beggars can't be choosers. I surprised with the two that we got, so I'm not going to complain because both of those are pleasant surprises to me. Going into Scorn, seeing a bit of the same situation with Retribution. Two things that I wasn't really sure what they were going to do with Scorn. I honestly didn't really have much of an idea. But they picked Immortals and Praetorians, and that's my two favorite themes, so that's fantastic. That's also pretty representative of what Scorn is supposed to be, which I really like. You'll notice here they've kind of moved away from a lot of the minion crossover factions. We didn't see, we're not seeing the Scorn one here. We didn't see any of the like mercenary ones that cross over. We didn't see strange bedfellows or anything like that. So, which is kind of weird to me because it's super easy for them to do that now with everything being army locked. But it makes sense here that they're not doing Disciples of Agony for that reason. This just kind of makes sense to me. Praetorians and Immortals, they're both cool. They're both kind of samey though, in the sense that they're just a bunch of melee dudes. So we'll see what kind of comes out of that and what they look like at the end. And then we get into Trolls. Unfortunately, Trolls is probably the faction where I know the least about their themes. So we have Northkin and United Creoles. Take that as you will, because unfortunately I really can't talk much about Trolls or what that means. I've never played Trolls. I have a handful of models that I bought recently, and I have no idea which ones might make it in. But yeah. So that's kind of where we're at right now with the new announcement. These are the factions that we will, or these are the themes, I guess, that we're going to see in Prime. It's an interesting list. Overall, I'm a lot happier than I expected to be when this came out. I was really, really worried about Dawn Guard. I was really, really worried about Immortals. I was worried about Ogryn. Although, to be fair, Ogryn were, there was a good expectation for them to make it. I'm happy. On one hand, I'm happy about the fact that they seem to be doing the entire army for the limited factions because, like I said, I have a lot of Convergence. I only recently bought into some of the Strange Bedfellows slash I forget their regular theme names because Strange Bedfellows is Strange Bedfellows. But I only recently bought into the Angels and stuff like that. So I'm excited that they're making it into Prime. So maybe I'll actually be able to run the Angels in Prime, which is gonna be cool. Because I've had them. I've had what's his name, Asphyxius for pretty decent amount of time now, and like Gatsby 4 is all painted up. My Angels are in progress. I've got the Gargantuan and everything, so pretty excited that I'm going to be able to field Convergence. Hopefully, the couple things that they might be cutting isn't just Angels. I still haven't actually played with Gatsby 4 since I got him, so I'd love to actually use him. I know he was kind of a broken model at some points, but I want to see him. Another thing I'm noticing here is that I'm not seeing any of the Archons be like obviously included in any of these. I mean, Meneloth, Menite Archon kind of just fits in anywhere, but even looking at the Mercenaries, I'm not seeing like the Morrowind themes or anything like that. Um, so we'll see. It's possible, I guess, that Archons are just going to be legacy models or unlimited models rather. Um, that's a little bit disappointing because Archons are definitely models that a lot of people went out of their way to get a handful of. So that's kind of a lot of money that's going into unlimited, and it's weird to say that it's like wasted or anything like that because you most people by this point have had a chance to use those models. And even if they go into unlimited, it's not like you can never use them again. It just means you're doing it in unlimited. Uh, but we'll see what kind of what the support for unlimited looks like because personally, I'm not super optimistic about the support on unlimited. But if it ends up being really good, I will be very happy about that. So anyways, guys, I just wanted to do a quick update. We're hitting 16 minutes and a few seconds here. I don't want to run on for another 45-minute video, but I do just want to quickly say, and I will be talking about this more in a future video, thank you guys so much for the support lately. Support on those two Mark IV videos that I've made have been through the roof. It's been absolutely absurd. I've never seen that kind of support on any of my YouTube channels in the past because this isn't my first go at this, and I really really appreciate that. That meant a lot to me. All the comments, all the likes, all the new subscribers that that joined the channel off of that. It was overwhelming. It was a lot. um, and I really really appreciate that kind of support. It's one of the reasons why I love this game so much is because the community for this game is so supportive. um, so yeah, that was really great to see. And anyways, I'm gonna cut off here because I've rambled on for another minute now. Um, but yeah, let me know your thoughts on these armies. Are you happy with what you're seeing? Are you upset about, model XYZ? Rant to me in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And other than that, until the next video, have a great day. Peace.